And I guess technically that's true. Where is you?
Talking to a merchant.
Okay. There you is. I see you.
Am I not invisible?
No, you are very visible.
All those years wasted.
Years of what?
Academy training?
You're not Buzz Lightyear. Are you gonna shoot me an invite, or do you want me to do it?
Just ignore the fact that I'm crying over here.
I'm ignoring the fact that you're being an intentional drama queen. All right. Let's jump over to Bree, grab our stuff.
Okay. Got some good, like, war drums going on in my music.
Really, I don't hear war drums.
Well, of course you don't now. We're in Bree.
You are a strange woman. Just, I love you, but you are strange.
But this shouldn't be a surprise at this point.
No, it's not.
I do like Bree. It's always just like familiar and comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Of course.
Hello there.
No, Zorro, no.
Her title is Foliage Watcher. I wonder how you get that title.
Babysit trees. Stop. Stop, Zorro. Let's see. We're not at Halderith, are we?
Give me a second. Actually, it looks like my fire will be able to get us back close.
Well, let's do it then.
Or is Haldrith where we are?
I don't know. That's just where I have my milestone bound to.
It's where I have mine too, but it looks like it's in the Great River.
Oh, cool. I got incomparable gear and items
Cool.
from Bounder Chubb.
Not Bounder Chubb.
And that's the guy who gave it to me. What was that? Have we been called to battle?
That was somebody summoning their war steed.
Ah. So no, not called to battle.
You'll get one soon.
In theory. Maybe.
What can I do?
Okay, where am I headed?
Stand guard.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's the only option we have.
The other... Really? We couldn't go to any of the others?
We haven't unlocked them yet.
But they showed up yellow. Does that just
But
mean we
not
have to pay
white.
mithril coins for it?
I think that means it's an option, but we gotta go unlock them if you don't want to.
Okay. You gotta remember, it's been a long time since I played this game.
A week.
Mm-hmm. I forget a lot of stuff in a week.
Hey, now you can see that statue.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
Well,
like,
not nighttime.
like you said last week, though, that you were pretty sure we'd be going over to it for, as part of a quest, so...
Pretty sure it's this quest. I'm just enjoying some scenery.
It's very pretty. You just taking pictures for your Instagram account?
I took a picture. Don't know if it'll get to go up there.
How many followers is your video game photography Instagram account up to these days?
About 100.
Interesting. Well, cool. Okay. Where, discovered the Cuthstan. I see the statue.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here's our friend.
I'm glad you have come, Vontu. I wanted to speak with you here, away from the prying eyes and listening ears of Stangard. There are friends in the village, but it is my worry that not all its men have the best interests of Rohan in their hearts. The garrison at Stangard consists of men who had no other place in Rohan, for those who commit crimes but otherwise remain loyal to the king. They perform a length of service determined by the king's order, and upon its completion, their past transgressions are forgiven. My story is no different, Vontu, but my heart burns for Rohan. I see it threatened on all sides, and worst of all, I fear the greatest danger comes not from without, but within. I have seen... Horn stopped suddenly. Someone comes. Quickly, hide behind the stone over there and see if it is a friend or foe. The plot coagulates.
It's a foe.
I wasn't really hiding behind the stone. That was well done, Vontu. I'm worried by the increase of number of orcs that move alongside the river. They have been coming down from their holes in the Misty Mountains in great numbers of late. But they are not the only danger we face. There are two shallow crossings across the Great River. 500 years ago, a tribe of Easterlings crossed into northern Gondor by the northernmost of these undeeps. The steward of that land knew he did not have the men to repel them. He sent messengers into the north to seek for aid, but it seemed none could arrive in time to save Gondor. The sound of approaching feet once more seizes Horn's attention. We have another visitor, Vontu. Hide behind that other stone and see if it is another orc. It is a searching orc. You are quite an ally, my friend. Where was I? Yes, I remember now. The steward of Gondor sent an urgent plea to the northern peoples, but the Easterling tribe pressed across the river before any help could arrive. But when all hope seemed lost, a new force arrived on the field of Celebrant, the ancestors of my people, led by Eorl the Young. They destroyed the Easterlings, and in thanks, the steward of Gondor gave them the land of Caledron to dwell in. That is now called Rohan. This statue was later erected as a sign of the friendship between the Eorlings and the men of Gondor, and my people have watched the crossings of the Great River ever since. Horn looks up at the statue and is quiet for a time. I think the sword your Dunlington friend carries was at that battle, Vontu. I cannot be sure, but I feel it to be so. Why has it come back? We should return to Stangard. The air grows chill, and we can talk more when we return, but remember what I have said.
It's a cool statue.
It's a big statue.
Gonna make us go the direct way.
What? I thought this was the way you were going.
Yeah, but it's not the way the path was.
Now that sounds like a you problem.
If your leg breaks, it'll be an us problem.
And now it's an us problem. Although my leg healed significantly faster.
I got an 18-second break.
I don't know what happened. Thing is, you'll still probably beat me in because I have no idea where I'm going.
Ooh, should I let you lead?
That's a terrible idea. I cannot stress the just in high enough terms of importance how bad an idea that is.
Well, considering that you led us straight to him.
I could find one guy. That doesn't mean that I can be able to take charge. I know why you have come here, Vontu. There can be only one reason. It is clear that you have been sent to help my people fight against the Kundalar. They are the descendants of the Easterling tribe that crossed the Great River 500 years ago, and scouts report that they have been seen on the far shore. They seek to accomplish what their ancestors could not, and this time there will be no timely intervention, no final hour rescue. We are on our own, Vontu. And that is why I did not forbid your Dunlington friend from entering Stangard, or seize the Rohirric sword she carries. Perhaps one day we were foes, and we may be again. But today I see Rohan threatened, and I thirst for allies to defend my homeland. I was called disloyal and changeable in the Hall of Theoden King, but that is not so. I love Rohan, and I only want to protect her.
The battlefield of Parth Celebrant may hold some clue to defeating the Kundalar.
The battlefield of Celebrant may hold some clue to defeating the Kundalar. Their ancestors were routed by the timely arrival of the Eorlings under Eorl the Young. But we have no such advantage in numbers this time. No one is coming to help us. We must find some strategy to help us defeat the Kundalar, and sifting through the site of that battle may teach us something we can use against them. I have marked this map with the location of the battle. Bring it to Kurdik at the road watch post in Parth Celebrant, and he will guide you to places he has not already searched. I hope you will be kind to him. Kurdik has long been away from his wife and daughters, and sometimes he lets his worries master him. He is a good friend and true, even if his mind is not always on the task before him.
Off we go.
Are we going to go kill things? Is that the plan?
We're pacifists. We don't kill anything.
I broke my leg. I'm healed.
Don't you wish it was that fast in real life?
I know, right? Instead of a months-long process. A goat! Did you see the goat?
I did see the goat.
Did you want to pet the goat?
Nah. You have a goat that's better.
That's true. I got a really slick-looking goat.
a Christmas goat, even.
Yep. Oh, these sweats apparently need to be, go through the wash. Good thing we do laundry tomorrow.
What did you do to them?
I don't know. I just looked down. There's like a streak of something on them.
Is it Cheeto dust?
No. It's... Ooh, backpack. Hold on, I want to get this backpack.
But I'm being chased by rockworms.
Oh, they're 6 levels lower than you. You can kill them.
Oh, but can I?
Well, bring them back here. Oh, I thought that would kill them.
Look
There.
at them. Dead among the flowers.
Couldn't happen to a finer rockworm.
Maybe that was the best rockworm that ever was. And
Okay.
now the world will never know it.
I don't care.
Here we are.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
You are a ways from home, Vontu. This field of Celebrant was the site of a great battle 500 years ago, where my ancestors rode to the aid of the Steward of Gondor against an invading Easterling tribe. Ah, you have met Horn. You must already know of this battle, then. He is a young man, but he has an old man's fascination with history, and is perhaps too keen to speak of the past to anyone who will listen. He said too much to Theoden King, they say, and earned himself a place here at the garrison. I have been here much longer than Horn, I regret to say, and me with 3 daughters left behind in Rohan. It has been too long since I could send word to them. My wife worries. She always has. I wish I was there to console her. She worries, you know. Oh, I am sorry. You were not interested in my own travails. Horn gave you a map. Let me see it. Yes, I've already sifted through most of these locations. Let me mark these 3 for you. Examine those sites, and perhaps you will find something of use to us. Let's do it.
The wolf is starving.
No, you can eat the Celebrant brigand. That is what I say to that.
Look, enemies.
Oathbreakers. Here?
A small number of them.
The Men of the Mountain?
These guys broke an oath. It wasn't the oath guys. The oath guys.
Yeah,
though.
you see, that's why I was a little surprised. Oh, are we mounting up again then?
Well, we searched the first location. We got 2 more to go.
Cool. Cool.
Right here. Some good old Gondorian ruins.
They are pretty. You find a small bronze-worked heirloom among the debris. Another camp just out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, it's got a mustering horn, so that's essentially Lotra's version of a summoning stone.
Is there a dungeon?
I think there's something in those ruins, but I don't remember what.
Well, okay then. What is this? What have you found?
Have you found?
Kurdik takes the bronze-worked heirloom you found among the debris at one of the battlefield locations and turns it around in his hand. You found this among the rocks. The years have not been kind to it. See how the bronze is bent here and here? A weapon did most of the work on it, and time did the rest. I cannot tell you what this used to be. Perhaps a decorative addition in a helmet? This gives us no advantage as far as I can see, but it is instructive to think of what things we leave behind. Was this Gondorian, or from a helm of the Easterlings, or was it from a helm of the Eorlings, or was it Easterling in make? 500 years later, we cannot tell. Perhaps I will give it to my wife when I return to Rohan. She will be so proud of her Kurdik for bringing her such an interesting item. I'm sorry, Vontu. I became quite distracted. While you were away, I received word from a scout in the Rushgore of strange happenings in that swampy land. Find Edbrit at Akulf's camp, southeast of here on the edge of the Rushgore, and see what has happened.
Time for another swamp.
Hey, as long as we don't have those, like, one-shot kill exploding salamander things, I really don't care.
Those were irritating.
We may need to lock the cat out.
We'll get to the camp, and then I will catnip up his tree. That might help for a little bit.
Okay, hopefully. But he seems fairly insistent that it is time to play, and it is not time to play.
It's time to play Lotro. Maybe the cat needs a Lotro account.
If our cat could play Lotro, I think we would be. I think our Twitch would be getting a lot more traction. Not that I particularly care. Really? Leave my Christmas girl alone. Jingles has done nothing to hurt you.
Many unusual things.
Kurdik sent you. I am not. To me, I am not surprised. Many unusual things have happened in the Rushgore of late.
I saw a great shadowy shape fall from the sky not long ago.
I saw a great shadowy shape fall from the sky not long ago. You can come with me to investigate it if you wish, but first I need to ensure the safety of the Rushcore. Something has stirred up the creatures in this swampy land, and it is my duty to keep them from becoming a serious threat. I'm not as young as I once was, but my arms are still strong and can swing a sword. I may not sit the saddle as I used to, but my legs are stronger than many a young man's. Together we will travel in search of the falling shadow and see what there is to see. But first, we must thin back the newly aggressive creatures of the Rushcore. If you help me in this, we will be sooner underway. Defeat Gredbig, Turtles, and Evank throughout the Rushcore, and then return to me. Then we will search for the place where this falling shadow came to the ground. Alright, time to be Hemnet Nesting wary.
Any guesses on what the falling shadow is?
Melted gumdrops.
Probably not.
Boat nectar.
Tar?
Some of God's tears.
I don't think those would be a shadow.
The lovely elderly couple from 2B that was eating all the crescent rolls?
I feel like now you're making a reference.
I've been making a reference this whole time. I feel like you should know this reference. I've quoted it several times.
You make many references.
This is true. Although the only one you really seem to ever recognize is the cloak.
That's because you have a cloak voice.
It's true.
Speaking of, somebody's going to have to get quoted that to him today.
Oh, I'm sure Galen will get that quoted to him many times today.
Oh, you too.
Seeing as how Heath and I just introduced it to him, this week. Alright, we need one more Gredbig. What is a Gredbig?
They're bugs.
There's a Kundalar warrior. I'm gonna kick him! And by kick, I mean put a rock in his face.
You're not just going to interrupt his casts.
No. I was, thinking along the lines of Misa in Death Note. When she sees Takeda and she's like, I'm gonna kick her!
It's been a long time since we watched that.
I mean, I watched it last year again, but yeah, it has been a while.
Well, you got introduced to it and then you watched it 3 times.
Well, over the course of a year.
But it was lots of Death Note and then it just kind of all slowed down.
Yeah, because it was an interesting story to watch.
And it was something new.
Yeah.
You still have Disenchantment to watch, or Disenchanted?
No, I already finished that, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I
usually
would
means no.
It wasn't bad. I feel like it wasn't quite as funny as the previous seasons.
To the Brownlands to search for the falling shadow.
Good. I thank you for your hard work against the unusually aggressive creatures of the Rushcore. I would not have wanted to leave my post with those threats unmet, but now I feel we have earned a time of peace. Enough time for us to seek the falling shadow at any rate. I will need to return before long. While we walk, perhaps you can tell me of your adventure. Why do you smile? I can tell by your face that you have seen more adventure in recent days than even Edward in all his years. You claim to have experienced. Or can claim to have experienced. I would be pleased to hear anything you would tell me about yourself. I will go with you into the Brownlands to search for the falling shadow. Let us look for it to the southeast. I believe that is where it came to ground. Oh, buddy, if you only knew the things that I'd taken part in. The cat's just sitting here staring at me.
Well, that's a non-disruptive thing for him to do.
Contemplating. I think he's plotting to kill me.
All cats are always plotting to kill their people. This is common knowledge. I found a camp.
Is this a camp we need to go to, or? Okay, you keep like stuttering forward.
I do. I'm getting some weird lag. Don't swim the river, don't swim the river, don't swim the river.
It seems like a pretty fast-moving river. Where's...
I'm lagging.
You're lagging bad. Granted, you're not the only one. And this is like worse than Angmar.
I'm not positive that this piece of the river would have the same effect, though it might. But if you try and swim the Anduin, it will kill you.
Really?
Yeah, it's too swift.
Huh. Like
You
you
won't
just
try now, don't you?
you just step in and you die immediately?
Well, you remember how when you stepped into the ice bay and you got that super cold debuff that killed you pretty quickly?
Yeah.
But you technically had enough time to get out if you like realized.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Hmm.
Okay, final chance to guess what we're gonna find.
The toppling of a South American government? A giant fan? A resistance leader who was pushed into a giant fan? I mean, obviously it's the Nazgul. I'm just quoting, you know, llamas with hats. Dread. This must be the shape my men and I beheld as it plummeted from the sky. What a terrible creature. Edbert shivers and his eyes go wide as he turns away from the dead beast. Is that riding gear? Did someone ride astride this terrible creature? And if so, where is the rider?
Something is wrong in this land. Oh, I can feel it.
See what I have found, Vontu? Something is wrong in this land. I can feel it. This must be why we are here. This is the reason for your dreams. Remember the word of Sivolk, my father. Dreams have power. We ignore their warnings at our peril. This beast is dead, but something wrote it, and that creature is not here. Your dream brought us here to help to keep that creature from doing great evil, Vontu. I feel it in my very bones.
This is the reason for your dream. This is why we are here.
This is the reason for your dream. This is why we are here. I have never seen a creature as terrible as this, lest it be the mighty worm my brother slew beneath the Zudugarand. As you stare at the corpse of the massive beast and contemplate the mangled harness and its missing rider, a single word echoes in your mind. Nazgul. Nona watches you deeply. Do you know something about the rider of this beast, Vontu? Your face tells me it must be a creature of terrible power. We must find it. We must search for it throughout this land. Look for signs of its passage among the lands of the Great River. After we have scoured these lands, we will meet back here at this creature, Vontu. Let this purpose guide our steps. What brought this thing down?
Legolas.
This was Legolas?
Mm-hmm. So one night they were on the river, and they could hear orcs to the side of them, and so they were still sailing because they hadn't stopped that night because they knew there was danger all around. And it was this great shadow that blotted out the stars, basically. They couldn't tell what it was, but they felt that dread, and Frodo felt the pain in his shoulder.
Well, like,
And
I know about that. I didn't realize this was the area that happened in.
Mhm. Well, if you look at your map, we're very close to the Great River.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, if we're not... No, there's southern Mirkwood. Oh, wow, so they would have come down quite a ways from Lothlorien at this point.
Yeah, so this is where two rivers meet right here, and so the one at the top of the map is the one they came down, and then they took that hard turn and went off the map.
Interesting. All right. Well. You made a friend.
He thinks he can beat me in an archery contest.
No?
But yeah, Legolas shot the beast out of the sky using
Okay.
the bow that Galadriel gave him.
Yeah, well, like, I knew that he shot down a fell beast. I just didn't realize that this was that area.
Hang on,
So.
we might not need to go into the camp.
Oh, but I wanted to be a homicidal sociopath.
You'll get your chance.
I wanted to do it now.
Are you still inside the camp?
No, I'm on Jingles. Jingle.
Jangles the moon monkey?
No, Jingle, the Christmas goat.
The monkey from Toy Story 3 that alerts when it sees guys out in the hallway.
You mean The Walking Dead season 3 because they're the exact same thing?
I have spied upon a camp of the Kundala here in the Brownlands.
Vantu, you say. I am Gamal of Stangard. I have spied upon a camp of Kundalar in the Brownlands. The Easterlings have been gathering in greater numbers for some time, but something recently has changed. I know very little of their language, only bits and pieces. They speak a fragmented tongue, with some words I know and some all their own. But I think they speak some new and powerful ally. Kuraton, they call this person that inspires them. But if that is a name or description, I do not know. If you are of a mind to help me defeat many of the Easterlings here in the Brownlands, and also confront some of the Kundalar that shout messages about this Kuraton. If hearing that name inspires the Easterlings to rise up against my people, let us make them pay for using that name.
Your goat made a funny sound.
He usually does.
Alright, now we can go in the camp.
Cool. Camp Lashkarg.
Do you want a battle cat?
We already have one.
These cats are far larger than our cat.
Debatable. I got the last backpack. You go for it. Oh, wow.
That's a lot of stuff.
That was a lot of stuff.
And a message shouter. You should get that wooden chest.
Oh, sure. I should also probably get on WoW today. I got stuff to do. Like you said, finish out the story and whatnot for Maldraxxus.
Yeah, so you can do the new patch as your own proper covenant.
Yeah,
Unless you want to switch loyalties.
not particularly. Blue cast... Wait, what?
What?
Blue cast sorcerer? The blue wizards were... Okay, which canon of the Blue Wizards are we going off of here? The ones where they became, like, corrupt and fell in the east, or the ones where they actually fought Sauron?
My guess is they were probably, even if they were, good and pure individuals, that their arts were corrupted over time.
I guess maybe.
I do not like this.
I do not like this.
Kundlar are too near to stun.
The Kundala are too near to Stongard. If this Khoroton continues to inspire their forces, it will not be long before they march on Stongard. Gamal's lips form a thin line as he considers the garrison's chance of repelling such an Easterling invasion. I thought of something while you were bringing justice to the Easterlings, Vontu. The word Khoroton. I think it is not a name. It has much in common with a word for black cloak. But the Kundalar do not wear such things. Do you think they are inspired by a sorcerer of some type? You do not voice your guess to Gamal, but the word is loud inside your head. Nazgul. Complete the deed, the Vanishing Rider?
Yeah, that's what we need to do to continue the story.
So what's the deed?
It's a series of 6 quests,
Okay.
of which we've done 1. Maybe we should grab the stable master while we're passing.
I can get behind that.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
Sorry, I'm doing some inventory cleaning.
That's fine.
You probably have 2 quest items in your inventory. Cat collar and then a Mark of the Blue cast.
I do have the Wild Cat collar. And Medallion of the Blue Cast, yeah. Give me just a sec, though.
You're good.
Because I gotta clear out excess inventory crap.
Not excess inventory.
Yep. The same. Oh there, good elf.
This guy over here. This guy over here.
Ah. Okay, goodbye. Something has made the Gredbig here more aggressive than they used to be. You defeated some of them before we went to the Brownlands. Did you notice anything unusual about them? Well, I have. On my way back from the carcass of the beast, I was set upon by a group of Gredbig. I fought them off, but I noticed something peculiar. As they lay twitching beneath my sword strokes, their blood seemed to boil, like water over a roiling flame. Is this the cause of their newfound aggressiveness? I want you to defeat the Gredbig and collect samples of their blood. See if the blood boils and bubbles. What could have caused this?
Ooh.
Look at that. Nazgul changing genetic structure.
They're just that evil.
Just by their simple presence.
They're just super evil. We have to put them out of their misery.
Oh, cool. That blood sample counted for me, too.
Oh, nice. You could play hide and seek in these reeds pretty easily.
You could. You could also probably get lost and die in these reeds pretty easily.
don't think we're gonna die.
Think what you want.
Not the worm den.
Oh, those are Gredbig. We haven't seen those since, like, Moria.
Yep.
I'd completely forgotten about them.
That they turned into long, scary things.
Yeah. It's been so long since Moria. I mean, we started that, like, what, last May?
No, we didn't get into Moria that fast.
I know we were... No, we were... We were about Angmar, beginning of May. Because I remember I put up a video saying there's no Dogecoin in Angmar. And that would have been about the beginning of May. Was when we were starting to, you know, kind of look at investing and whatnot.
Well, I can double check.
Interesting. Seems that whatever causes blood to boil has moved on.
As time went on, the blood you collected ceased to boil. Interesting. It seems that whatever causes blood to boil has moved on. What type of creature could have this effect on the Gredbig? Whatever it may be, its presence alone was enough to make the blood of the Gredbig roil and boil. And when it moved on, the blood gradually ceased to boil. What evil is this that its mere presence can so enrage the creatures of nature? You do not answer, Edbrit, but the word Nazgul is on your tongue.
We went into Moria about 7 months ago. But that's going in. We came out later than that.
Was it really only 7 months ago?
Mm-hmm. That's when I uploaded the video that said, like, behold the walls of Moria.
Because I know I did the whole there's no Dogecoin in Angmar early May.
Well, you forget how long the epic story gets there near the end.
That's true. That is very true.
There were like 4 or 5 weeks of just epic story quest.
This is very true.
Look, swans.
Black swans. Also being chased by a turtle.
He is turtly enough.
For the Turtle Club.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, how many more on this deed?
4.
Cool. Are we there yet?
We get there when we get there.
Are we there yet?
Yes.
Are we there yet?
20 minutes.
Are we there yet?
20 minutes.
Are we there yet?
20 minutes.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet, Nate?
Are we there yet?
Well, we have to run all the way back to Angmar, so...
Are we there yet?
And you have to do it by foot, or you fail the quest.
Are we there yet? Am I being annoying?
Eh.
Have I really jaded you that much this quickly?
It's been nearly 5 years.
I know, but still, I figured it would take longer to make you that, this jaded. Lontu, you have returned. I was just thinking about you and wondering if you ever found what it was you were seeking. After you left, I went searching on my own and, well... Kurdik is having some trouble meeting your eyes. I'm not a coward, Lontu. I've stood unblinking before a shrieking mass of goblins and not given way before a charging warband of Kundalar Easterlings. And I've even stood my ground when my wife was in one of her tempers. Well, mostly stood my ground. But at certain sites on the battlefield, my courage was quite drained away. I felt uneasy, and everything seemed to get cold. Will you go to some of these sites? I will mark them on your map. Look at the rubble of Crumbling Corner in Ostcalabrant, a grassy ledge overlooking the fast-flowing river, and by one of the stone bridges over the river. I want to know what is happening out there, Vontu. I am ashamed to have felt that way. There must be a reason.
Ghosts.
Ticketmaster.
Now we get to go inside the ruins.
Yep. Yep, we do. What the heck is an Ice-Sworn... Ice-Sworn? Oh,
Yeah.
sworn to Sauron, I see.
Yeah.
Technically, though, I thought Sauron was supposed to actually have a physical form, canonically.
That's still his emblem. Are you just, like, vacuuming down everybody?
Homicidal sociopath.
And I'm also not sure why I said vacuuming.
I'm a little confused as to that as well.
I think I was going for something between, like, mowing down and vacuuming up.
Mowing down would probably be the more appropriate one.
Probably. I seem to recall that one's actually down there by the river.
Okay.
Wait, don't jump!
I didn't jump. I'm right here with you.
Why is this glittering?
Oh, I can't interact with it, though.
Probably has to do with another quest.
Probably.
Oh, look, a treasure box. Lots of treasure boxes.
Probably to do with a different quest.
Yep. Alright, now we should jump down.
Okay. Let's do it. Why didn't we jump down before, though?
Because we would have had to come back up and get that one.
Ah. Oh, hold on. I picked up a friend. Apparently I'm not so wildly out-leveling things here that I can just walk past them.
No, they're not gray. Hey, look, across this bridge, it's Rohan.
Cool. Oh, mark the location. Right here on the bridge. Is that all we needed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
My elk is making lots of moose sounds.
It would. Ah, crap.
What?
I just realized I completely missed the Valentine's event in WoW. Which means that it's a whole other year before I can even try for that stupid rocket mount. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is. I've been enjoying 7 days, so...
Yes, you have. Though, I probably want to get on to WoW today a little bit.
Yeah, but we can do that after game day.
Yeah, obviously. I'm not going to bring a computer and play it while we're game daying.
I would hope not. Seems like that would kind of defeat the purpose.
And we don't have a laptop with WoW installed.
This is also true.
I keep clicking the mustering horn instead of the dude.
Experience anything?
Did you experience anything strange while you explored the sites? You recount what you saw at each of the locations Kurtik pointed out, and he seems to be quite relieved. It was not all in my head, then. Good, Vontu. Thank you for setting my mind at ease. Whatever it was that instilled in me such uncommon fear may have moved on. But it is good to see still it had an effect on those sites. I knew I was no coward. The word Nazgul dances at the forefront of your mind. Kurtik knew the truth of what came so near to him. He would not feel so shamed by the fear that filled him.
Nope.
Well, I'm glad you know all the locations of these quests, so... Because...
They're on your map.
Oh, really? So they are. Well, okay then. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't have it memorized that well.
Well, it just says complete the deed. I didn't realize that it would have the locations, lit up, but in hindsight, thinking about it, yeah, I guess it would make sense.
If they didn't mark it, people would be like, what do I do? And then I have to Google it.
Yeah.
Which they don't want a person to have to do. A thing glad Wolverine.
It was dark as pitch in the cold watches of the night, and I walked to the shore of the Anduin. I thought I saw, no, I did see, a darker patch of shadow in the space between the trees. When I approached, it fled. It moved with a lurching step, sliding low upon the ground, but it moved quickly, and for some reason I cannot explain, I was loath to close the distance. I lost it in the dark. But I know the name of this apparition. Limthir looks from side to side and then speaks in a voice barely above a whisper. Its name is Nazgul. Bring word to Fimloth at Halderith that one of these fell creatures is loose somewhere in Thinglad. You're not my real mom. You can't tell me what to do.
And yet we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But because we want to and not because you told us to, right?
Yes, exactly. Now, this is the place that we didn't really do much with, right?
Yeah, this is the place where we started.
That's what I thought. We do still need to turn in these other quests that we got.
We'll go back down into that area before too long.
Okay.
Are you sure? A Nazgul?
Are you sure? A Nazgul. Fimloth stares off into the distance for a time, deep in thought, then shakes her head and turns back to you. This is disturbing news, Vontu. But I cannot believe a single one of the 9 cannot endanger Lothlorien. Not while Lady Galadriel retains her power, and she does. You need not worry on that account. All of the 9 together would pose a more serious threat, but Our Lady still governs, and her power still keeps the borders of Lorien safe. Thank you for these tidings from Linthir, but it seems to me this Nazgul poses more danger to the men of south of here than to the elves north of here in the Golden Wood. Oh.
I don't think you ever turned on your VIP buff.
I think you're right. I did not.
Also, we can take a stable to Stangard, which is close to where we're going next.
Okay.
Nope, don't have time for you.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry.
apparently we're going to have to make time.
I cannot seem to clear my head.
Oh, I am sorry. I cannot seem to clear my head. If Ifing shakes his head as if to try and clear the cobwebs, he squints at you blearily. Where am I? I saw something, and then Ifing tries to focus on your face. He finally manages it and takes a deep breath. It was dark, and I could not see far into the night, but I saw a figure in the darkness. I thought it was one of my men, returned from a patrol in Earlsmead. But then it rather hissed at me. I approached and demanded that the stranger identify himself, but then everything went black. I fell down, and only now have I come back to my senses. The shape came from the northwest. I think atop that rising slope. You can look for it there if you like. I will. I will stay here. I'm still not right, I fear.
Ooh, spoopy.
A spoopy ghost.
It's a spoopening.
I nearly referenced something that I would probably have regretted. The footprint is of a heavily mailed foot, clearly wearing a mailed boot.
The goats know what happened.
But they ain't talking.
Why are you killing the goat?
Because I meant to kill the worm, but I tabbed onto the goat, and then I started attacking before I realized what happened.
The goats know the secrets.
You found a booted footprint. I wonder what it means. Can you tell who it was that attacked me? You try. Oh, hey, I gotta stop yawning. You try to console Effing and assure him that he is in no more danger, but you have a few words of comfort, and you know what it is that befell him. Effing ran afoul of the Nazgul, succumbing to the black breath and the stench of death and foul instrument of the Nine. He's fortunate the creature must have been hurried for some unknown reason, or he certainly would have been killed. He was lucky, but your fortune seems poor. The whereabouts of the Nazgul remain unknown to you. Didn't we already have to track down an Nazgul in a different mission? Or in different?
Yeah. There was the one after the Fords of Bruinen got flooded, and they found remnants of all but one of them, I think.
Yeah.
And they weren't gonna let Frodo set out without knowing where the other one was.
Yeah, I remember that. Because then he sicked one of like the lesser wraiths on us. I should not be out here. I wanted to be a farmer, but my father and I should but my father said I should follow my older brothers, and well, here I am. And last night, well, I cannot explain it. Something spooked the goats, and I climbed up the ridge to investigate, and that's when I heard it. Something was, how can I describe it? It was a sniffling sound, like someone with a cold. But there was something about that snuffling sound that made my blood run cold, and as I approached the milling goats, I saw that I was not the only one disturbed by the sound. The eyes of the goats were wild, and they stamped to the ground, desperate to get away from something. Something moved among them, low to the ground. It made no sound but that snuffling, as if it was smelling for something. I ran, and I ran, and I ran. And I feel as if my heart has only now calmed itself. If you decide to visit the goats of the enclosures to the north and to the southwest, use caution. That thing might come back.
Ooh.
A spoopy ghost.
It's probably fitting that it is now nighttime and we're entering the spoopening.
You see nothing unusual. Whatever was here must have gone. You see nothing unusual. Whatever was here must have gone.
That goat got out.
That's this guy's problem. I suppose I may have imagined it. You didn't see anything there? Just goats? You know what Magla saw, but the man is frightened enough without knowing the identity of the creature that sniffed so near to him that night, Nazgul. He is slowly becoming more calm, but is still shaken by the experience. I am not cut out for this sort of thing, Vantu. My brothers are bold and courageous, and would certainly not have been as frightened. And my sister, she is a handmaiden at the Golden Hall in Edoras, and she would have marched right up to that, whatever it was, and given it a tongue lashing it would not soon forget. Not like me. Ah, well, I'm the one who is here. I'm doing my best. I hope my father and brothers and sister are proud, or will be. Thank you again, friend. Wait, isn't this supposed to be like a prison colony type thing?
Less a prison colony and more a, here's your chance to prove yourself away from everyone else.
Because what's his face was saying, you know, it was a predefined term that you stayed here.
Yeah, I mean, it is a punishment to be assigned to stand guard, but you still have, like, a duty to do.
So is that... Okay, so yeah, we go talk to Nona now.
Yep. But now we'll take the stable master back to where those other two little auto-bestowed quests are. We'll turn those in, and then we'll go talk to Nona.
Works for me.
Our friend Nona.
Her name was Nona. She was a showgirl. Actually, probably not a showgirl.
She was a Dunlending, but that's too many syllables.
Yeah. She was from Dunland. No, I am not parodying Copacabana.
Welcome, my friend.
Which stable master?
Brownlands.
Brown. Okay, there we go. Brownlands. I see it now.
It's the one that starts with the letter B.
I didn't see it initially.
This song is gonna be stuck in my head all day now.
I could put something different in your head.
And that was many years ago when there used to be a show.
I've honestly only ever really kind of heard that those first few bars.
Of you with the Rohirrim.
I think most people have.
No, see, I've heard the song many a time because my mom is a fan of Barry Manilow.
Okay. Let's see. Where do I? Oh, this guy wants the.
Yeah, he'll
blue
take the
cast.
other one.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
You love your Christmas goat.
I do enjoy my Christmas goat. Very much. Very, very much.
It fills you with Christmas joy.
Yeah, even though we are into, we are a couple months past Christmas.
Now we're not even 2 full months.
It's crazy how fast this year has gone.
Yep.
And in comparison to 2021, it's actually been relatively tame at the start.
Shush, don't jinx us.
I know, right?
We have learned much of this.
We've learned much of this creature, but not what we need to know. Where has its rider gone, and what cruel fate has kept us a step behind it at every turn?
The creature was looking for something.
Oh, solo quest. This rider, what was the word you used? Nazgul? The creature was looking for something. We need to think. It brought us on a chase through these lands, but I cannot tell what it sought or if it found what it desired. We have no choice but to return to the village of the Horse Lords. I will wait outside while you speak with that man Horn. We are strangers in this land. He is not. He may know of a place we have not yet searched.
Let us talk on the way back to the village of the Horse Lords.
Has no one seen our new friend? Or the Dunlending girl? I thought they would have returned to Stungard by now. Some trouble before them on the road?
We have a long way to go, Vontu. As much as I wish I did not need to refuge at the town of the Horse Lords, it seems we must. We have lost the trail of this creature, this wraith of which you speak, and until we can learn where it has gone, we are only wasting time. It is frustrating to know our purpose and be unable to accomplish it. Well, let us keep walking. Yes, or I will keep riding my goat. I will tell you a story Silvuk used to tell my brother and me when we were young. It will help pass the time. Long ago, there was a man named Freka who lived among the Horse Lords. He was wealthy and strong. His hair was dark, like that of my people. He had Dunlandish blood in his veins. He desired a marriage match between his son Wolf and the king of the Horse Lords' daughter. The king, Helm the Hated, refused Freka's offer with insult and violence. He lured Freka to a desolate place alone and slew him with treachery. And then... What? What is it? Easterlings, get ready to fight, Vontu.
You're always ready.
No, homicidal sociopath. I keep saying this. I'm always down for a fight. There will be more of them, Vontu. Let us get off the main path. Yeah, that's not how the story of Wolf played out. Do you feel that? I don't feel safe here, Vontu. Let us go up among the rocks. Something is near, Vontu. It must be the wraith we have sought. It makes my blood run cold. Nona looks at you with wide eyes, and you are suddenly reminded that she has not had much experience with creatures of such evil. She puts her hand on the hilt of Wadu's sword, her sword, and her former fright is replaced with grim determination. We found it. Now what do we do with it? I hear something. Look there. Do you see that? Nope. Oh, now I do. What do you mean target is not in line of sight? There we go. I was like standing right next to him, and it's just like, target's not in line of sight. Nona's sword flashes with a bright light, and the Nazgul flees from it. Ha! Coward! More Easterlings, get ready! Vontu, the big one is running for his friends. Follow him. Come back here. I didn't kill you. You have to die at my hand. I will not run from you. I am your better. My people have powerful friends. I will show them how strong a man of Kundalar can be. Oh, good. Now I do get to kill you. Suddenly, a woman's scream pierces the stillness. Nona is in trouble. Where is Nona? There we are. The Nazgul stands atop of the hill. You need to find a means of driving it off. Nazgul shrinks away from the blazing fire. Nona lies crumpled on the ground before you, soaking in the blood from a sword wound in her side. She struggles weakly to speak. Vontu, are you... The effort is too great for her. She needs the aid of a healer if she's to survive. This wound... to survive this wound. In the back of your mind, one worrying question refuses to go away. From what blade did she take this wound? Did an Easterling blade cause this injury, or was it the blade of the Nazgul? You prepare yourself for the long journey back to Stangard with Nona. Vontu, is everything alright? Nona's breathing is ragged and shallow, and the gash in her side still bleeds around the cloths which she used to staunch it. When you brought her to Stangard, she was barely conscious. You found Horn near the entrance and begged for his people to tend to Nona's hurts. He sought out the leader of Stangard to see what could be done, and has not yet returned. What were we saying? Freka? Wolf avenged? What did she say? Oh, I know what it is. She mentioned Wolf, Dunlington traitor. His treacherous father tried to kill Mighty Helm, and then the son invaded Rohan and sat in Metaceld. Let her die, I say. Whatever made that sword stroke did my people a favor. You're kind of a jerk. I have his decision. I did my best for Vontu, but you are not going to be pleased. He did not understand why we should heal the hurts of this Dunlington girl. Eventually he relented somewhat. He has agreed that our healers will do what they can for the girl. What? Heal the girl? Horn, this cannot be his decision. There is a condition. Our healer will see to the girl's wounds, but she must relinquish all claim to the sword she carries. No. It is Sword of Rohan. It belongs with us. Yeah, in Stangard, that is the price of her life. I am sorry. This is the message I was given. Do not let them... Nona struggles to speak, but the effort is too great for her to make out the words. She beseeches you with wide eyes, but you cannot meet her stare. Your gaze keeps returning to the blood soaking the floor beneath her. She tries again. Wadus, it was... You cannot give the Rohirrim what they demand. There has to be another way to save her life. I would die first. Don't be a fool. Our healer can save your life. I am a healer. I can save her life. I know our people are enemies, but you should not die this way. How would you have me die? Not for a sword. Vontu, your friend is as hard-headed as the most stubborn of my folk. She could give King Theoden lessons in being headstrong. There has to be some other way, Vontu. You spoke of the elf witch in the woods north, to the north along Anduin. My people shun that place as a den of evil glamour. But if there was a power that could heal this girl... Horn glowers at you, his eyebrows knitted together angrily. A pox on her, I will not have her blood on my hands or on her own. Lead us to this elf witch, Vontu. I have heard the tales. Perhaps she will be unable to bewitch me if I am expecting it. Why did you ever bring this girl to Stangard, Vontu? This is not her place. Horn gazes into the middle distance, and in a quiet voice he continues, In Stangard is a sword valued more highly than the life of a girl. What sort of man would willingly serve in such a place? He shakes his head, and the urgency returns to his voice. Well, for what are you waiting? Let us go at once. So Nona is the friend Galadriel is healing that she talked about.
Yeah.
I called it.
She's the only friend we've got right now.
Yeah. I will never call my people distrustful again, Vontu. The blindfolds felt somewhat unnecessary to me. Only the most urgent of need has driven me here, and I would not want to return. Horn's face softens, and his brow creases with worry. Do you think the girl will recover? I saw the way those elves looked at her wound. Whatever they saw there did not look... They did not like it. If it was not an Easterling blade, what does that mean for her? What is wrong, Vontu? Have you seen this before, Vontu? Why, yes. Yes, I have. I have done what I can. The danger has passed, Vontu. The wound was deep, but it did not fester, and yet I did not wish to leave this girl in the care of my healers. The risk that her wound was caused by a Morgul blade and that she could have become a wraith like the creature you encountered that night compelled me to heal her hurts personally. If that had proven the case, I would have ended her suffering. It would not have been a mercy and necessary to safeguard Lothlorien and indeed all lands. Do you think me cruel? I am glad it did not come to that. I do not believe her wound was caused by a Morgul blade, and it is my hope and belief she will live. I am surprised. We will speak more of it later, away from watchful ears. The girl Nona is sleeping. When she is awake, you will be brought to her. For now, you should rest, Vontu. Dream no troubling dreams. In Lothlorien, your rest will be peaceful. I am certain of it. What relief. I can hardly believe it. I feared the worst. There's clearly some glamour on this land. I feel as if I could take on any foe and achieve victory, or cross any landscape, no matter the obstacles. Your elf witch works wonders. Only song could do justice to her powers of healing. The relief I feel is... It is overwhelming, Vontu. The girl will live. Unless it is rude to ask, I would like to return to the forest floor now. I will return to Stangard by myself, but I would like to see you again. Once the girl is recovered, bring her as well. If I am to compose a song of your adventure, I will need both of your accounts after all.
Along the banks of the great river, you evaded a great evil, but not without cost. The girl Nona was brought before me, wounded and in pain. I did for her what I could, but her fate is not yet clear to me.
Welcome.
You have journeyed far and have come very close to death and sadness, and yet you still skirt the gravest danger and come safely through the other side. I hope that our mutual friends fare as well. I told you earlier I had nothing to do with your dream, and this was true. But when you described your visions to me, I did not tell you everything I suspected. It seemed clear to me that your paths must cross one of the 9. I believed the girl would die, and yet, unbelievably, she did not. Either through your own actions or hers, you both escaped the clutches of the Nazgul, and either through curious good fortune or powers unknown to me, our mutual friends seem to have outdistanced its pursuit. But there is no rest for we who worry for their safety. The Nazgul is not the last danger they will face. They and you are not free of evil's clutch just yet. Rest for a time, but not for long. There are plans to be made, Vontu. We will speak again, and soon. Oh, I got a mirror. That will have to go in my house eventually one day.
We could spend a stream one day getting a house and decorating it up.
Maybe. Obviously not today, though. Within the woods of Lorien, guests of Lord Celeborn can recover from their hurts and the toils of a long road. It is my hope this reprieve was of use to you, Vantu. In these dark days, no time of rest is as long as we might wish it to be. It is nearly time for you to depart again. With one motion of a lovely arm, Galadriel directs your gaze to the flets that cling to the bole of the tree. Nona has made as full a recovery as she could have, and a greater one than I expected of her. She's waiting for you at the ladder down from these flets. I have made it known that it is my will she be permitted free movement within the hedges of Caras Galadhorn. Show her the city of Galadrim, Vantu, show her the city of the Galadrim, Vantu. We will speak in my garden when she is satisfied with her exploration of what the city has to offer. What's a flet?
These wooden platforms.
Ah.
They tell me I was close to death. I remember very little of it.
Nona smiles weakly at you. They tell me I was close to death, Vantu. I remember very little of it. I remember a creeping shadow and a chill cold as ice, and... Her eyes narrow. The men of that town would not heal me unless I gave them my sword. But you spoke against it, and so did that man. What was his name? Horn? I should thank him for that kindness, even though he is of the horse folk, and we should not trust him too far.
You missed some dialogue.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, she says, the lady of the elf woods told me I could see her city before we departed. If I were well enough, I tell you I am. This place is a marvel, though my own people would not wish to live here. Bring me to some of the notable locations in this city. We have some time before we must depart, do we not?
I saw none of that.
You had to scroll.
Oh. Okay, whoops.
It's all good. Lag.
Just a bit. Like, I'm... Frick, what's going on?
Lag.
Why is the lag so bad today?
Why is the lag ever bad? Or good?
I mean, lag generally isn't a good thing?
This is a place of quiet contemplation.
This is Kellerlin, the White Fountain of Caras Galadhorn. It is a place for quiet contemplation, where the elves of Lorien are free to enjoy the sound of the water in the pool and the feel of soft breezes on the skin. Hurrian looks at Nona dismissively, and you can tell that despite Galadriel's word, not every elf is pleased to have the Dunlington girl within the borders of Lorien. Others can admire the fountain as well, of course. Hurrian finishes with a sniff.
Hoity-toity.
Where is Nona? I don't see her. Oh,
She's
there
right,
she...
she's right here.
I don't see her saying anything.
She's not. You can click on her and she'll have a little bit of dialogue, but I mean, it's just flavor.
Okay.
What would be the point?
She basically says, my people would not build such a thing. I don't even know where we would put something like this in our city.
Well, that's how you two peoples are different.
We see so few visitors to Caras.
I'm sorry. We see so few visitors to Caras Galadhorn that our hospitality is perhaps not what it should be. It must seem a very confusing place, with flets built on multiple levels of the Great Melern, with winding stairs and bridges crossing the breezy gaps. Anglamel laughs, a delicate and musical sound. You catch Nona's brief scowl at the airy tones, but Anglamel does not. I've heard it said Caras Galadhorn is as maze-like as the cities of the dwarves. But if this slander is true, at least our maze is above the ground, lit by the glow of the sun and cool glimmer of the stars. I would forgive any amount of confusion for those dual boons.
It is a wonder, I will grant you that.
Nona's all like, when did they find time to build all this
Yeah.
nonsense?
I mean, she does say it's a wonder. She will grant that.
She does. But I think she's forgetting that these guys have been alive a lot longer than she has.
Yep.
Oh no, a traveler's steel-bound loot box has been removed from my pending loot.
Oh, did it just...
It timed out.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I'm usually just constantly selling that stuff. I've never had anything time out, so...
I have stuff time out all the time. Do you want a city like this?
I mean, it would be cool.
But we would need trees like this first.
We would.
It might take a little bit of time.
And I don't think trees like this exist anywhere in the world. I mean, these trees are thousands of years old.
I was afraid I'm gonna fall off.
The Malon trees of Lothlorien are the mightiest to be found anywhere.
The Malon trees of Lothlorien are the mightiest to be found anywhere in these, the waning years of Middle-earth. It was once not so, but the passage of time and the spreading of darkness has caused much that was once great to wither and diminish. So it would be with the elves, were we to stay. Already we have stayed too long. Luidris looks sideways at Nona, but she seems not to notice. It will soon be the time of man, and who can say how that race will deal with their challenges, with the challenges that lie ahead. These Malorns support the Telain Galadrim, the flets on which much of the work of in our city is done. Without them, little could be accomplished. I hope that the same will be said of the elves when we have departed.
Galadriel wanted to speak with you in her garden?
Alright. No, let's go to the garden. Why are we running around this? Okay, so there was a point.
Yeah, taking the roofs is just slightly faster than taking the whole spiral.
Oh, I thought it seemed like we went around the entire thing.
We went around the tree a couple of times.
Well, I mean, that one particular roof is what I'm saying. It seemed like we went around that one particular roof at least once.
Oh no, it was just spiraling.
Didn't the band of orcs follow the Fellowship into Lothlorien?
Yeah, they all died.
Well, I figured. I was just thinking of it, like, how stupid would you be to do that? They all knew. Like, they all knew what Lothlorien was.
They might have known rumors, but I doubt any of them had actually seen anything before.
How could you be an orc and not know that this place is like persona non
I
grata?
hope you enjoyed your respite.
I hope you enjoyed your respite, Vontu. It brings me sadness to tell you it must be ended. I spoke to you once of the danger that awaited our mutual friends on their road, Vontu. Their circumstances are hidden to me, but I have seen enough in my mirror to worry. Those few of the wise who know of their errand have known simple truth since they departed. As they move further south, they move closer to a point of decision they can delay but not avoid. They cannot leave the Great River without making this decision. Do they continue south and east to Mordor, or do they pass through cities of men and thereby take a longer road to the fire? The ring-bearer must go to Mordor, but who will choose to go with him? I fear for the company, Vontu. I peer into my mirror and see if the vision... hold on. Peer into my mirror and see if the visions for you are as troubling as they are for Galadriel. I still have not gotten her to do, like, her little, like, vision thing for me. At least if I have, I've not... I don't remember it, but maybe we missed it?
I'll Google it if you want me to, but I don't know.
Maybe, because like I remember we hit it with the storyline quest that we were doing, going through some point with all the spiders and whatnot.
Yeah, in Mirkwood. And I remember my lore master had it
We
when
always
speaking
knew
to
that the company of the
Saruman,
ring would face the
after we'd been
difficult
taken
decision of what
prisoner.
road to take. We simply did not
Maybe
know how
Runekeepers just
soon.
don't have it? It was introduced too late or something? I don't know. Well, Frodo, the choice is upon us at last. In Rivendell, you were appointed the bearer of a great burden, and this company has escorted you through the wilderness, beneath the mountains, and along the great river. All of us have done so in friendship and with an understanding of the errand's great need. But now the path splits. Boromir has said from the beginning that his road leads to Minas Tirith and the war against the Shadow that must surely be coming. But that way is not the way to the fire, and it is to the fire that your burden must be carried. What should we do? Does no one wish to speak? Well, Frodo, you are the bearer, and you must choose your own way. I cannot advise you in this. What is your decision, Frodo? You need time to decide? I understand. It is no easy decision. None of these have been easy decisions. If only Gandalf were here. I have tried to play his part as best I can, but I am not he, and the ways of wisdom are shut to me. I am sorry I cannot help you with this decision, Frodo, but it is yours to make, and I do not want to sway your mind one way or another. You shall have an hour, Frodo, and we will leave you alone to decide. We will stay here, and you may walk as you will, but do not stray out of call. There are orcs about. Okay, I go northwest? Is that
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts of Elrond rise unbidden in your mind. How do I consider the thoughts of Elrond?
You talk to the mental image of Elrond that you have conjured.
I conjured a mental image?
Go back towards the little river.
Oh, there he is. It's not my fault I missed it.
You're just running too fast.
The ring you bear is the one, the ruling ring sought by Sauron above all else. The evil he could work with it would be uncurable. It must be destroyed. There are those who would use the ring and not destroy it. The temptation to use the ring, even for good, is overwhelming. That is its power and its danger. The road to the fire is dangerous, but it is the only choice we can risk. Thoughts of Galadriel rise unbidden in your mind. Some rings there are that Sauron never touched, And they were not used for evil. They were used for growth and prosperity, and much beauty was wrought with these. The 3 elven rings belong to this worthwhile group. You remember the look of sadness on Galadriel's beautiful face when she spoke of this in Lothlorien. If you fail in your quest, Frodo Baggins, the workings of the 3 will be laid bare before Sauron, and he will control all. But if you should succeed, even then there will be little happiness for the elves. We will diminish, and all that was wrought with the 3 shall fade. No choice is free from sadness for my people, Frodo. But Galadriel of Lorien would have happen what should happen. Even should it mean all her good works in this Middle-earth disappear and are forgotten. Goodbye, Frodo. Goodbye, mental conjuring of Galadriel, who speaks in third person. Thoughts of Gandalf rise unbidden in your mind. Few know the inner strengths of hobbits as I do, Frodo Baggins. Many, even among the wise, would think this task too much for you. But I have seen the bravery of a Baggins when put to the test, and I know you will do what you must. The memory of Gandalf's warm smile fills you with a deep regret. Yes, there is sadness on any difficult road. You must prepare for more if you are to face what must lie ahead. Your friends are dear to you, but you must be prepared for this truth, Frodo Baggins. Some of them may not return from this quest. If that is what you delay, the quest is already lost. Or that is why you delay. You must decide, Frodo. Thoughts of Bilbo rise unbidden in your mind. Oh, he's probably just going to talk about food. And wanting the ring back.
Thoughts of Bilbo go, wah! Like they did in the movie.
Yep. Oh, Frodo, my lad. What have we gotten ourselves into? Trouble and bother. Your memory of the old hobbit makes you smile in spite of yourself, and you realize how badly you miss him. Something has to be done, Frodo. All these important people with their endless meetings and councils weighing important matters, when all it needs is the application of some good hobbit sense. You at least need to go to Mordor, Frodo, my boy, isn't that so? As long as you have the ring, it is your burden to bear, as it was mine. Merry and Pippin and Sam, bless you, they would be fine. The others will watch out for them. If you bear the ring away, as it is your task to do, your friends will be in less danger. It will not be easy, Frodo, my boy, but it would be for the best. As long as our friends accompany you, their lives are in danger. You don't want that. Best to go alone to Mordor. Aragorn and Boromir are strong men, and they will take care of our friends. Gimli and Legolas will watch out for them as well. Sam will not understand, but in time, he may forgive you. What did Elrond say in Rivendell? That it was perilous to study the arts of the enemy as Saruman did? That must be because they can corrupt even the purest of hearts, no matter its intention at the outset. Someone approaches. You feel a presence behind you. And so, we have come to it at last, the great battle of our time. Frodo, there you are. I was worried about you. I know you said you wanted to be alone, Frodo, but you are simply too important to go wandering alone. If Aragorn is correct in his guess, it means the orcs have already crossed the river. They could be in the woods even now. May I stay and speak, now that I have found you? What if I were to say no? Back at camp, everything is endless arguments about where we should go. But you and I could decide much easier. With two, it need not be a tumult of voices. Yes, you hear the wisdom in it. I am glad, Frodo. I had feared you would not wish to speak to me, but it lightens my heart to know that you respect the wisdom of Gondor. For Gondor is where the greatest strength of men can be found, and it is where the Dark Lord's gaze is most drawn. If you were to come to Minas Tirith with me, we could protect Gondor. What do you say, Frodo? No. Why do you resist the course of wisdom? These elves and wizards speak only of hiding and sneaking, and they would have us destroy the very thing that we need to defeat Sauron. Why do you listen to them and not to me? It is my people who pay the price for the failure of this foolhardy errand. My people will pay, not yours, hiding far away in some hidden dell where the enemy will never find them, if even he thinks to look. But he looks at Gondor, yes he does, and he will kill its people. And they will look to me and ask why I was not able to protect them, and I will say I had this chance, and I let it slip away. I know it is a heavy burden for you, Frodo. You are so small and weak. What if the ring had come to a man, a strong man of Gondor? Perhaps you could lend me the ring, let me use it to save my people, and then I will give it back. How can you say that? You have the very thing we need to defeat the Dark Lord, but you refuse to use it. You run knowingly to your death, and you bring with you the only hope we ever had of surviving this war. The ring should be mine. Give it to me. Give it to me, you foolish halfling. You have no right to it. If you will not give it to me, I will take it. I will take it by force. A madness has taken Boromir. The ring is mine. Give it to me.
I don't think you're going to beat Boromir in toe-to-toe combat.
I mean, it doesn't tell me to put the ring on yet.
No, just put it on.
What? Where did you go? Cursed halfling! In desperation, you slip the ring on your finger. Escape from Boromir, Frodo. Run up the stairs to the east, then to the summit of Amon Hen. Frodo, curse you! Where are you, Frodo? You've doomed us all! You have destroyed us! Run, Frodo, up the steps. Boromir may not be able to see you, Frodo, but others things might. Frodo, you do not know your danger. Sauron can sense the presence of the ring. He searches for you. You've stumbled blindly into the summit of Amon Hen. Your heart is gripped with a sudden feeling of terror. You sense a malevolent presence, searching, searching. Sauron senses the ring. Take it off, fool, take it off. Take off the ring. You managed to remove the ring. Now you know what you must do. The terror of your recent experience is still with you, but you conjure the kindly face of Gandalf from your memories to try and fight back the dread. You can almost hear his voice as clearly as when he spoke to you thusly in the Library of Rivendell. There are a great many dangers facing Middle-earth, Frodo, and your ring is responsible, even indirectly, for all of them. The orcs of the Misty Mountains stir, and Lorien is threatened with fire. The horsemen of Rohan fight back the wolves of Isengard. Corsairs put to sea from Harad, and endless armies march from the east. The Mountain of Fire is aflame, and the Dark Lord's forces are in motion. There are men who stand against them, men like Boromir, son of the Steward of Gondor and your companion. He and the men like him will fight for as long as they are able, but when all is finished, it seems to me they will be simply men. And for how long can man stand against such evil? No, Frodo, I fear when all this is reckoned, it will come down to one hobbit after all, and the strength he himself can bring to bear. Perhaps that is always the way it was meant to be. You know what to do, Frodo.
Dun dun dun.
Quite, yes. You tell Galadriel what you saw within her mirror, and the look of sadness crosses her face. The mirror shows many things, Vontu, and not all of them come to pass, but this is one possibility among many, and it is a troubling one to be certain. They may have need of your help. I want you to travel south along the river Anduin, Vontu, and to see what has befallen our mutual friends. None of the visions I have seen in the waters give me any hope that they have avoided the dangers into which they walk. If you can aid them in even the smallest way, it may be enough. Nona should go with you if she still desires to do so. I have known her for just a short time, but I do not think she wishes for anything but to adventure with you. Let her be an aid to you on a dangerous road.
You will need a guide to bring you to the Falls of Rauros.
You will need a guide to bring you to the Falls of Rauros, but few of my people ever travel that far. No, do not shake your head in frustration. There is a guide who will suffice. His name is Corridon, and he is the elder brother of Sigilith. Galadriel smiles sadly. Yes, I see you remember our fierce champion. Without her twin knives and the skill with which she wielded them, the efforts of the Golden Horn might have come to naught. Her death in the Battle of the Tower is cause for grief in all who knew her. You will find her brother is cut from similar cloth, but if Corridon shares her ability, he does not share her temperament. Find him on Telain Neduil, on the eastern side of Calas Galadhorn, and tell him you have need of him as a guide along the Anduin. He is not called Riverwalker for naught. He is more familiar with the lands through which the Anduin flows than any elf in Lorien. Alright, well, this seems like probably a good point for us to wrap it up, because we actually got to get ready to go somewhere here in just a bit. So, thank you so much for everyone who was here with us today, who stuck through the entire stream, and who spent part of their Saturday with us. We will be back next week at our usual time, but until then, I'm Vanlin.
I'm Yummy Elf.
And this is Cow Elf Gaming. We'll catch you in the next one.
See ya, everyone.